Hey everyone, and welcome to season 3 of Let's Talk Social. Super excited for the season. As you can see, we finally got the digs a little bit more set up. The audio should sound a little bit cleaner. I think it does. Last episode of season 2, we had the same setup. And I think it sounded pretty good. So they help out a little bit there, and it looks a little bit nicer. So very excited to kick off this whole season. We're going to be doing a lot more guest episodes and a little bit more less firm and hard information based and a little more opinion or I guess like me guessing at what the future kind of has to hold so that we can place bets and hopefully put them in the right place. So this episode is more informational. It is the 4 things that are going to be guaranteed to kill your social media growth. So if you're doing these wrong right now, then you're definitely missing out. So grab a pen and paper and get ready to listen to this episode because we have got some good stuff that you can use in your business starting this week. You can take notes and pass this down to the person running your social media accounts, or you can use these yourself. It'll be a good little framework to kind of abide by and try to remember moving forward as we close out the year. So for the very first thing I want to talk about, this has been historically one of the biggest issues. I think 2 episodes on the podcast in the past about this now, is the frequency and consistency. I kind of clumped those 2 together now. I used to kind of talk about them independently from each other, but the frequency and consistency of posting to the page and just the general actions and things that we do on the page. The consistency portion of it, what I mean by that is daily engagement with your followers. We have even the pages that we run here for my business, like we go through every single day and spend a minimum of 5 to 8 minutes on engaging with other people, not just posting and replying to messages, but like going out and engaging with other posts and pages. This keeps your profile active. It pleases the algorithm because you're not just some shadow business account, like just posting out stuff endlessly. Like you're actually engaging and popping up places in other people's comment feeds. You're liking other people's posts. It's really good cross promotion basically for your page on the platform. So that's kind of about the consistency. And then the frequency portion of it is the posting and staying consistent with that frequency. So establishing a proper frequency for the page that is going to actually benefit it in terms of growth, and then being able to stick to it by being consistent. Most people are posting way too much on social media. If you post to Facebook more than twice per day, you're posting too much. I have episodes in last season about this. I'll probably touch on this a few times during the season again, so subscribe to this if you're not already. But we're essentially 1 to 2 times is kind of the maximum / sweet spot for businesses that have the ability to keep up with that magnitude of posting. So if you're doing any more than that, reel it back a little bit. For videos like Instagram and TikToks, Instagram Reels and TikToks, I'm thinking about 1 per day right now is the maximum. Anything less than that is adequate, but anything more than that I think is a little bit overkill because you're stunting growth organically. If there's too many things going to the page, whether it be a post or say 2 TikToks to the page, you only have so many followers. So when Facebook is going through, the algorithm is trying to decide who to serve this to. You have 2 posts fighting against each other in the same follower list because they only get on so many times per day, right? So if they only get on 1 time per day, the likelihood of Facebook showing them both of your posts or 4 of your posts is very low. So we want to be able to monitor that frequency in the sweet spot of all of that with a proper frequency on the posting. So that is the first thing, guaranteed to kill the growth of your social media pages. The second is not keeping up to date with, again, I paired 2 of them talking together, camera quality and composition. So I had an episode recently about this in the last season for camera quality. Composition I haven't really talked on before. I'm big into video and photo. If you guys don't know that about me, I've been doing video for a few years now. And composition is one of those big things where there's lots of rules when it comes to how to show things in certain lights and all of that. And not that you need to be a master in composition, but to know the general rules and principles of having good composition and keeping that in the forefront of your mind while coming to create media, very important for you. Now, the other half, camera quality, and I'll touch on composition a little bit again. Camera quality is like if you're still doing all of your social media posts with an iPhone 7 or one of the older Androids, like basically anything older than like 2019, I would recommend getting an upgrade just because we're getting to that point. It's called law of diminishing return, where like the more and more expensive something gets, the harder and harder it is to notice how much better it gets. But the things like before 2019 are like totally left in the dust. I have people pick up my phone all the time on the camera app and they're like, whoa, this is so clear. And I'm like, yeah, like get it. It's awesome. You know, it's like you got it when you upgrade, it's like night and day difference. So this is a great investment for your business. I guarantee you, like getting a iPhone 13 or one of the newer Samsung Galaxy phones with those newer, nicer cameras, or the Google Pixels, those are really good. You will notice a very big difference in the overall aesthetic of your feed, in the videos you're posting. If you are, all of those good things come forward through video. And like, there's a joke in the video world, if you don't know about it. And it's kind of like, I forget kind of exactly how it goes, but it's essentially like you can kind of buy your way to the top with all your glass, is what they call it, all the lenses. So you can have like a decent camera body, but if you get a really nice lens, it enhances the look like tenfold. And so what I mean to get at there with the analogy is like one small upgrade can have a massive effect. So getting a new phone or a new camera, big thing there. And then for composition, there's like two things I wanted to touch on, and then like a third that's kind of unrelated. But for composition, if you want to put an ABC down underneath it on your notes, lighting is the first thing. Like, make sure that we're presenting products and people in good light. So not a harsh shadow across the face. It's not dark on the product. If there is a window 10 feet to your left, bring it into the sunlight so we can get some natural light on there. So just being smart and considering lighting. B for that would be staging. So if you have products sitting on your shelf or on a rack, or maybe it's people in your office, instead of just like walking up and there is value behind like documenting, and there's a whole thing that Gary Vee goes into that with that. But if we're making like a marketing post here, trying to present products in the best light, do a good job of staging. So there are many free YouTube videos on how to stage, like for instance, flat lays for clothing, how to position people for photos. Small things. If you're watching this on YouTube right now, you can look at this. So like tilting your chin 10 degrees, or like just a small little bit like this, makes the person feel and look so much more confident in the actual photos and videos. So there's so many little small tweaks like that you can educate yourself on to stage better. So staging is B. And then C, I think, is something else that I think that you kind of have to have some patience to implement, but going after multiple attempts for stuff. Not just being like, again, walking up to it and just taking a photo and then being like, yep, that's it. But actually trying a few different ways, a few different times, maybe even asking a second set of eyes to look at it. Hey, which of these do you think is the best? You text it out to your significant other, whatever it is. Even just that little extra step will have leaps and bounds of impact 2 or 3 years into implementing that. I think it'd be huge for you. So that would be C, is multiple attempts. So that kind of closes down the camera quality and composition section. Third is underutilizing video. I think that so many people know that TikTok is like, the thing right now, along with Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts. If you listened to last episode, you heard me go all on and on about that. But I think people still to this day are underutilizing video, even me inside of my business. When we do a graphics project, instead of just posting the graphic out to the page, technically we could make that into a reel or some sort of video, because we have the video editing software, like capabilities to do that. Now, you don't need to go to that lengths if you don't have the capabilities. But there are simple things that you could do. And the note I put down here on this was like, even just something as simple as turning what you were going to make a photo post into a video post. So if you're, let's say, going to make a flat lay and then take a top-down photo, you can post that picture out and get 100 likes on it, or whatever it is. We'll just say 100 for a random example. If you were to do the same thing though with the video, you can start with the top-down angle, you can move in, you can move out, you can show certain details inside of the actual product. If it is a service or like maybe an office space you're documenting where you just wanted a photo originally, turn that into more of like a behind the scenes video. So let it run for 10 to 15 seconds, maybe say hi to somebody and walk around, get them to engage with the camera. Just that small little swiping at the bottom of the camera app from photo over to video, or, holding instead of pressing when you're on Instagram making a story. Just that little transformation can have a really big impact. The good part about that is if you're having trouble with organic engagement, especially like if you're starting out, getting likes and having the low like view count sitting right there at the bottom is not only discouraging, but can kind of run new people off because it doesn't seem like it's a very popular piece of content. I will tell you right now, getting video views is way easier than getting likes, and the video view count is normally what's coming to surface on platforms like Facebook. If you're shopping or if you're scrolling through the suggested feed on like TikTok and Instagram, you'll see view counts, and then when you're on the videos, you'll see like count. But to remind you guys, this is in a past episode. This is why you need to follow me. It only takes 3 seconds to register as an actual video view. So if you can capture somebody just for those first 3 seconds, that's going to ping over to Facebook. Yep, that was a view. And then so that view counter is going to be, I think, probably a little bit more advantageous to the growth of the page than photo. On top of that, there's a whole nother portion of why you're underutilizing video, and it's these platforms are pushing for video. If I were to pull up Instagram right now, and I said this on the last episode, like if I scroll, like 70% of the content I see is going to be video, specifically Instagram Reels. I think actually they only allow Reels now as of like last week. And then everything else would be the normal photos on the feed. Like they're advocating for video content to be the main thing that you consume, and it's because it takes up your time longer than a photo does. It's long form content. The more time you spend on their platform, the more they're winning because they have all these other things that there's a lot of trickle down there. We don't need to get into it. So you know what I'm talking about. Number 4 on our list. So underutilizing video is number 3. Number 4, failure to repurpose content. This is like one of the easiest things that you can do to just like tenfold the amount of things that you're posting and doing. So we'll go through a couple scenarios. So first off, like a story. If you're going to make an Instagram story, like I made a video yesterday, this is where I failed. I'll like share this with you guys. So I made I think a 7 or 8 part video story of me showing me packing a video bag and getting all of the gear ready and all of that. And I posted it to Instagram stories, which auto posted itself to Facebook stories as well for the business. Now that could have also been saved altogether, mashed up as one actual normal like single video posted to LinkedIn. That could have been made into a Facebook Watch video. That could have been purposed into a TikTok, maybe a reel even for later in the development of the business. We re-pull that content and move it forward. So that's like multiple platforms I could have posted that one little deal on right there and leveraged having more exposure basically to the world. Every little bit of brand exposure counts and it matters. So in another scenario, let's say you make a video specifically for TikTok. Let's say, hey, we're going to make a TikTok today, whatever. If we're making a TikTok, we can post that TikTok also to Instagram Reels. There literally is an app that you can download actually that will remove the bouncing TikTok logo on top of the video if you don't want that there. It's crazy software. I don't know how that works. But that can go to Instagram, Instagram Reels, will pull over to Facebook and Facebook Watch automatically. They can go to YouTube Shorts. You can post that on LinkedIn still if you want it, if it's appropriate. There's ways that you can finagle and do all this. It's just having a reminder to actually repurpose that content. So if you're running yourself through this list, these 4 items, right? Every time you go to post, you're going to be like, okay, is this inside of my frequency and am I being consistent with this stuff? Yes. Am I going to have good composition with lighting and staging? Is my camera quality adequate or good, if possible? Not when possible. And then where am I going to repurpose this content to? How many places can I actually put this? And then to implement it, right? So those are the 4 main things there. The 5th one, this is a bonus, is stop boosting posts. I have seen so many people on Facebook, I say like fall victim to, it's not really like you're falling victim to, but they will go and boost a post and this puts a terrible taste in their mouth for paid advertising within social media services because they don't get nearly the performance they want. I'm not quite sure why. I think Facebook is just kind of leveraging the door of attainability. I think they're keeping it like at a low, it's always like $25, $10. It's never like an appropriate amount to where you would actually need to spend and Facebook actually deliver your post out to actually get some performance for you. They just want a quick buck, I feel like. But if you're going to boost a post, spend like $200 on it or $300. Like you have to actually put some money into it for this thing to work. And the reason why I say just don't even do it at all is because the audience targeting behind the boosting, like your audience selection and targeting options for boosting a post are so starkly different and inadequate in comparison to the business manager's ability to actually run a campaign and do the things that we do for our clients. All right, that is the end of the episode, guys. 4 things guaranteed to kill your social media growth. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Write them down, pass them over to your social media person, or put them on a sticky note next to your computer. And the next time that you grab your phone inside of your business to go and get something ready to post, look over this list and establish your frequency and consistency. Check your composition. Make sure we're using video when possible, and repurpose that stuff to as many platforms as possible. Leverage all of the possibilities for exposure, and make sure that you guys are doing all of these things for the main reason that we are even listening to these episodes, right? To turn customers, turn followers into customers, to generate revenue and make profit from our social media channels. Never lose sight of, kind of why we're here for that. So anyways, thanks for listening, guys. I hope season 3 is going to be incredible. We have awesome guests in the lineup coming for you. So stay tuned, follow us on all of our social media channels, and we'll roll the outro.